if we get in on a narrow state, when's the best time you think to call it quits? Somewhere when it's no longer a narrow state. It's not rocket science. This is not higher mathematics. This is not geometry or higher levels of algebra. This is freaking basic arithmetic. Do you understand? Basic arithmetic. Look at the two things that look at the things that we're focused on. Boys and girls, two moving averages, the 20 and the 200. Two moving averages, 20 and the 200. That's pretty simple, Oliver. We haven't gone beyond 2 yet. It's not algebra. It's not even multiplication and division. It's certainly not higher algebra. It's freaking arithmetic. We're not past the number 2 yet. Two moving averages, 20, 200. Two states, narrow and wide. We haven't gone beyond frickin' number 2 yet. All right. We've got two positions, Oliver, above the narrow state or below the narrow state. I haven't gone past the frickin' number 2 yet. All right. We want two color bars. Power green bar from the narrow state, one color. Power red bar below the narrow state. I haven't gone past the frickin' number 2 yet. It's not algebra. Certainly not higher algebra. It's not even multiplication and division. It's arithmetic up to the number 2. We buy the green bar being born from the narrow state above the narrow state. That's one action. And we sell or go short the red bar that opens and forms below the narrow state. Long or short, buy or sell. I haven't gone past the number 2 yet. And your result, win. We're going to win most of the time if you do this right, and you're going to lose sometime. Let's be for real. Let's not be idiots and believe that we can win 100% of the time. Life, we know, doesn't work that way. We're adults. We're intelligent enough to know that a small percentage of our plays are just not going to work out according to plan. All right. Sometimes it rains when we plan the picnic, and that's just life. We move on. But we've got two results, win, lose. So, guys, look, most people are overcomplicating this game. Most people are, but, what about this indicator? What about that indicator? What about volume? What about, this type of support and that type of support and this theory and that theory? And what about the planetary alignment of Saturn? And is Mercury in its orbit at the current time? And what about the 7th moon of Uranus? And we're overcomplicating this game. It's a game of twos. Two moving averages, 2,200. Two states, narrow, wide. All right. Two positions, above, below. Two types of bars, power surge to the upside, power surge to the downside. All right. Two actions, long, short. All right. Two results, win, lose. That's it. We never get past the number 2. And you've got people buying 50 books on this, taking seminar after seminar after seminar after seminar, which is not training. Training is what I do with you. But seminar after seminar after seminar, come on, give me a freaking break. Like you can learn how to trade from a seminar? It doesn't work that way. We're overcomplicating this, traders. I'm going to show you example after example after example after example today where you could have made a freaking fortune with what I taught you. You're going to be able to take what I'm teaching you today into the market tomorrow and watch how amazed you are. And I'm only spending 2 hours with you. Imagine if I had you for life. Imagine if I had you for a year. And you're going to be amazed after 2 hours tomorrow and every day after that. But the point is that you should not overcomplicate this. You don't have to complicate this. This is not multiplication. This is not division. This is not algebra. This is basic arithmetic. It's colors and lines and positions and buying and selling. That's it. All right, guys. Boom. Let's get back to it. All right. I get excited about this, man. It's 36 years and I'm still excited like I'm a freaking kid. I don't think I stopped growing up when I found trading. I stopped growing up. All right. Boom. Now, this is not from today. All right. I haven't gotten to today's examples yet, but this is close. This is yesterday. Look, November 17th. Now, let's do our exercise, right? The market hasn't opened yet, guys. So look, check this out. Let me erase it for you. All right. Let's look. This hasn't happened yet. The market hasn't opened yet. Let's get rid of all of this. You don't see this yet. All right. You don't see this. All you see is this. Now, check it out. That's all you see. Now, the market hasn't opened yet. It's about 10 minutes. You've got your cup of coffee. All right? You got your cup of coffee. As a matter of fact, cup of coffee, please. 200, the 20-period moving average is here. So 10 minutes before the open, you don't have to do it super early. 10 minutes before the open, grab your narrow ranges. You're like, whoa, look at this. Baba, 20, 200, can't really get narrower than that. I found my narrow range play here. And maybe you've got 3 or 4 of these lined up. Now, we don't, Baba could open up like this and grow that way. And we know exactly what to do. Well, almost. Or it could grow on the other side. Makes no difference to us. I don't care what side it has. If it wants to grow to the upside, boom, I will smack it on the upside. If it wants to grow I will smack that head on the downside too. It makes no difference to me. Now, of course, sometimes if the market's strong, I would rather do the green. And if the market's weak, I would rather do the red. But sometimes that doesn't even matter. I just take it whichever way it goes. Boom. All we're doing is monitoring the first 2 minutes of Baba. All right? We're not doing anything quite yet. But what happens is that Baba, boom, opens right here and gives you that beautiful sound. It's growing from the narrow state. Oh my God. It's power growing from that narrow state. That's a beautiful thing. And the rest is history. Do you realize that if you just got in here, which I'm going to teach you. No, let's just say at 167, let's say you had enough to do 1,000 shares. I know it's a lot, but I've got the money for you. 1,000 shares at 167. And let's just say you're like, okay, I'm kind of close to the 20. I'm like, this is pretty wide now. Maybe I should call it quits. Maybe you call it quits down here at 162.50. Do you know what this is? 1,000 shares? All right. That's $3,500 in a freaking morning. It's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. It's less than an hour. Now let's just say, nah, Oliver, I don't want to trade an hour. All right, I just want to trade the first 30 minutes and I'm done. I've watched you do this, Oliver. I've watched you trade the first 30 minutes. Okay, so you want to be a 30-minute trader? I have many 30-minute traders. Okay, get in. And if it continues to drop, let it drop right into your distance away. And I'm going to teach you how to protect your profits. We're going to go over this. But even here, even to that point, from 167 to 163, that's $3,000. Boom. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Now, of course, that's assuming you got out near the low. I get it. But it's also assuming you got in late here at 167 instead of here. Wow. All right. You do 2 or 3 of these a day. Do you understand this? This is not just something you do one. You might do 2, 3, 4 of these a day. That's crazy. And let's say you don't do 1,000 shares. Let's say you do 100 shares, which is the smallest amount we can play as professionals. All right. So instead of 3,500, it's $350 in minutes. There are people listening to me right now that don't make $350 in a month. There are people that don't make $350 in a week, much less minutes. All right.